Hey guys, welcome back to update 2 of my Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan. Today's not as successful of an update and I'm quite upset with myself because I did recently come back to university from home and I left one of my palettes with one of my panning eyeshadows there. So we'll just hop straight in and I'll start with that one. So the eyeshadow that I left at home is the Rise and Ground from the Orangey Glad palette. I left that whole palette at home. I was doing my nails using that Rise and Ground shade as nail polish, and I just left it in the room and it wasn't with the rest of my makeup, so I forgot to bring it back. So yeah, that one's gonna have to be rolled out for now. I did only use it twice, both times as a nail polish. It did actually have a bit of a dent in it, but I don't even have it yet to be able to show you the dent, so unfortunately I can't do that. But yeah, I'll just roll in a new shade for that and we'll get that going. So first for my update, I'll start with the oldest ones. The oldest shades we have in the project are both from the first roll-in. So the first shade I'm going to talk about is Mug from Lunar Beauty Life's Drag palette, which is this palette over here. It's the dark brown in the palette and I used it 4 times this month for a total of 13 uses and it looks like this now. I've been using it with a dense liner brush, so it's digging in quite a lot. I still don't know how deep these pans are and I don't think I'll be able to pan on it, and we have 17 uses left of that, so it will probably be in for another at least 2 months. So yeah, I've mainly just been using it as a liner. I have it on today as a liner. The second shade that I'll talk about is from my Kaleidos Flower Punk palette, and it's the Golden Age palette, Golden Age color, and it's this one over here. I used this an additional 2 times for a total of 12 uses. I didn't get much use out of it this month because it didn't quite go with the color story that I had that I was wearing, so I don't even have it on today. I have every other shade on. But yeah, so I still have 18 more uses to go with this one, so it should be in hopefully for another 2 months, possibly another 3 months. The next shade I'll be talking about is from this Beauty Treats palette. I just call it the gold palette. And it's shade number 24, which is this color over here. This is actually a really nice shade to use. It's quite a neutral, like yellowy undertone, which I really like wearing on my eyes. Sorry, I'm just covering because the other shade's there. But it's getting quite a nice dent in it. I used this 10 times this month. So it was the main shade that I used because I used it a lot, just as a one and done shade on my eyelids. So my goal for that is still pan, and I do think I'll be able to pan in the next month. And then the last shade is also from the same palette, and it's this color over here, which as you can see we did hit pan on, which is very exciting. I used this 9 times to be able to pan, and I did use quite a small brush to be able to use it in the outer corner. I have it on today along with that other first shade in the crease and then in the outer corner for that. So that's exciting. So we'll be able to roll in 2 new colors today, and let's just get started on that. So I have edited my spreadsheet to take out the Orangey Glad palette just so that I don't roll in one of those. So we have numbers 1 to 243 there, and then we'll just randomize our first shade, which is going to be 207. And then let's get our second shade, which is going to be 226. Okay, the first number we rolled was 207, and that's from this palette, which is the Not Just Nudes from Revlon, and it's shade B3, which B would be this row, the bottom row, and B3 would be the center one, which is a really nice, just plain neutral brown, which I'm really excited about. So I have hit pan on this shade in this palette, and the pans are relatively deep. So I think I'm going to have this as 30 uses, see how far we get. think it will be quite an easy shade to use throughout the month, just popping it on my eyelid. And I do start varsity again soon, which means I'll be wearing makeup more often than I did this month. So I'll put 30 uses and see where we're at by then. And if we're close to pan, I'll keep going, and if we're not close to pan, I'll roll it out. The second color that we randomized was 226, which is shade E1 from this Beauty Treats Rose Gold Nudes palette. So that would be this shade over here, which is a brown. It's a shimmer, but it's almost got a bit of a pink shimmer to it, but I think it will mainly just be a brown. It'll be a nice all over the lid, one shade kind of look. So let's see how that goes. I'll do this as pan. I'll probably work in this corner because I'd have dug the back of my brush into there accidentally once or twice, and see if I can hit pan that way. I know these shades are quite dusty. I'm really wanting to kind of move this palette out of my collection, but I'd love to hit some more pans on it this year before I do. So this one's goal will be pan. So now I'm just going to swatch out all the shades on the back of my hand so we can see the color story for this month. Okay, so this is the color story for this month, and what I am thinking is that this brown and mug are a bit too similar, and I'd really like to get some use out of this palette. So I think what I'm going to do is roll mug out. We haven't hit pan on mug, so it will still be able to roll back into the project, but I have got 13 uses on it throughout this month, and I will probably continue reaching for it for eyeliner if I roll this when I roll this one out. So I think I'm going to roll mug out, roll in a new shade for it, and then keep these four in the color story. So then let's just roll in one last shade for in place of mug. Okay, 134. Let me check what that is, and I'll be back. Okay, so 134 was from my Essence Konnichiwa Tokyo palette, and it is the second shade, which is this red shade, which is quite exciting because I haven't had any use in this palette, and it actually goes really lovely with the yellow from the Flower Punk palette. So that's going to be my new color story instead of mug, and that has such lovely pigment. Oh my goodness, really excited to get some use out of this palette. I got it recently, so I haven't had any yet. So my goal for this shade will also be 30 uses along with this bottom shade, just to go over. So it's 30 more uses, 18 more uses till pan, 30 uses, and till pan. So those are the goals for the rest of the month for these 5 shades. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you tune in next month for my next update. Thank you, bye!